Yeah, yeah. Look, y'all here for the top and nothing less. Quiet my doubts like God guiding these steps. The shit's tough, been through it and I confess. Everything that shine ain't gold, quiet is kept. It ain't always been this clean, I'm a mess. The boy fit, but these bars I spit sick. Gotta get it off my chest. Look, my word is born, telling you we the best. Game changer, I break rules like fuck the rest. We shall. Like a coming of age. OG said it was written, put the pen to the page. I pull rank like I'm cutting a spade. Huh? Guns go blaze, clowns testing my aim. When them things popped off, nothing was same. I wonder how the game could change. Whole damn thing rearranged. The new picture too big for the frame. Yeah, seeds still grew from under the flames. Good times coming soon after the rain. We stirring the pot, no hiding from pain. And everything left, poof, soon as it came, How we rockin'? Mind state that we adopted. Cruise through doubt, move mountains. Who's counting? They want us locked up and boxed in, but here's a plot twist, you got this. You were the right one, this is the right time. We in the right place, once in a lifetime. Living our best life, only obsessed, fine. Yeah. Right, we shine.
What up? Yes, we shall. Hey. What's going on, y'all? It is October 28th. It is the 98th episode of How Billy Sees It. Amazing. And in terms of our 30 for 30 that we've been doing, man, this is the 15th episode. So we are right in the smack dab in the middle of it all, and it's feeling good. We are rolling and rolling. Yo, what up, Jack F? What's the deal? We got somebody in the chat. Yo, it's good. It's been good, yo. Today I actually was supposed to have a guest. We're gonna have them. It got postponed because our guest, Brian Koba, he's a professor and author, with some really important, I think, and valuable radical politics and race consciousness that I was hoping to get his opinion and hear some more of his views. We're gonna get him sort of probably, if not in next week, the week after. But he's traveling a lot, and he just had his flight was delayed by 4 hours, and so we couldn't get him on. And so I'm doing the solo joint today, yo. Applause for that. Doing another solo. One of the things I do typically when I get on and do my solos is I tend to talk about like yesterday's solo. And what did we talk about yesterday? Let me go to my Gmail real quick. My man, thank you very much. Jack says, just got home from work. I like your music and interviews. I appreciate that, yo. Yeah. I do too, man. It feels really good that I'm able to make this stuff. It's fantastic, and I love getting that feedback. I appreciate it, yo. It's this big process. I got another single working on at the moment. Hopefully in a week or two I'll be able to drop that, feel comfortable with it. But it's getting along. We're writing. I was writing a lot today, actually. Where are my notes? Where's my notes? Okay, here we go. Yeah. One of the things that we talked about yesterday was we talked about power. We talked about the serenity prayer. We talked about that notion of things we can control versus things we cannot control. And we talked about how that has a certain depth. Like the assumption that we can't control things, even certain things that are out of our control, seemingly, that there's truth to that, but then there's also the truth about the way we engage with that thing, particularly with our words. And so what we label something. We see, we've been doing on this show quite a lot, like media literacy stuff, where you see the choices being made on titles of news headlines. And the New York Post will post a title and it won't have the names of let's say we're talking about the genocide in Israel. Let's say it won't name it. It'll say, 20 children dead in bombing and da da da. Certainly won't use the word genocide, won't name the perpetrator country. It leaves certain things vague with intention. And that leaves an openness for reality. Like it's a way of sort of lying without lying. It's a way of being clever with language so that you don't give the reader the right sense. In another case where if the perpetrator is not a U.S. ally, those newspapers will happily, put it front street. Russia bombed this thing. Russia shouldn't have done that. Horrible carnage caused by Russia will be the title, And so this is a really powerful tool being used often against us. And I think it's something we can actually harness because, as I've been saying for a long time, I think what's needed in this moment is people are grasping for truth and realizing the limitations of like the corporate news system and all the powers at play and the money and things like this, that we have to become better attuned at using appropriate language. We have to become better attuned at using language that serves us, that is accurate. And so I was talking yesterday about, again, that the power in using the word genocide as it relates to what's going on in Gaza and now extended into Lebanon and further. There's a legal switch that gets hit for, when we use that word, and that word genocide is confirmed, as it's been confirmed by so many international organizations, but it's also being undermined by here in the United States by this media. But that it is the thing. It is like we have power in our engagement with the thing. We may not be able to change U.S. foreign policy, but we have power in making sure we are calling stuff exactly what it is, so that when children read about it 20 years from now, a generation from now, that they understand exactly what's going on, that they understand who the perpetrators were, who the victims were. They understand how the stories play out. They can learn lessons to make sure stuff like this doesn't happen again. Not the wrong lesson. The lesson, of course, isn't to protect, U.S. policy or to protect U.S. allies. The lesson is to protect human life, and to like make that clear. And so you engage with stuff. And but it was fascinating to me because I think the thing about these words, right? I actually had this idea of drawing up something. So let me see if I could do that actually, yo. Let me get Blender. I haven't done a Blender episode in a while, man. Let me pull Blender up. Whoop. Yeah. Okay. If you remember, we did a show where we talked about the trolley problem. The trolley problem is a philosophy problem. Trolley problem is a philosophy issue where you are put in the position of this person here. This person, if I zoom in, this person here has a lever that controls where the track of this trolley goes. And if you leave it alone, the trolley will go straight and kill what looks like 5 people here. But if you touch the lever, if you move it, it will divert itself and kill only 1 person. And so it's intended to put you in a moral quandary. The point of the trolley problem is to put you in a moral dilemma where you're thinking, all right, it plays with the ways that you think about assessing good and bad. So 5 versus 1, right? If some people might very quickly go, oh, this is an easy choice. It's 5 people versus 1. I got to kill the 1 person. And then they do that, right? And the thing is, that's not an easy choice, right? Because in the first case, the 5 people might get killed, but you didn't actively do anything. In the second case, you actively did something. You engaged with this horrendous situation in a way that led to the 1 person's death. And in a legal sense, that would put you in our legal system, that would put you in jeopardy because you made an active choice. So that's what it's trying to do. And there's been a ton of spins on this. I did this before where I found some cool spins. Where this one? I mean, it looks like a bunch of these, yo. Should I just click one? Oh my god, that's too much. That's too much. Give me something simple out here, yo. This was just COVID, the government, the people, the economy. I saw another one that added like a cool, like a time warp kind of deal to it. So they're all getting nutty here. But the reason I'm pointing this out is because what I want to draw here, I want to create a little space here that creates a different moral quandary and helps sort of articulate what I'm trying to point to with the language question and the ways that we can engage with language. Okay, I'm going to take my pen. This is not on. Put that back. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, we're moving around. We're good. All right, cool. So let me just make this person. I'm gonna create three people to make this thing that I'm thinking about. We are really on the fly here with this. I'll be honest with you. But I know it'll work out. I'm gonna shade that smooth. I am going to let's add something here. Click that. Go here. I'm gonna make a neck, and then a body. Okay. So this is a person. Let me pull this down. Jeezy. Add this and shrink this down so it's more clear that this is kind of a head and a body. Okay? We're not getting too crazy with this, guys, okay? I just have a point I want to make, okay? What I'm going to do is I am now just to really hit it, we're going to add let me put the camera, set the camera up. Great. Okay. Boom. G1, pulling them away. All right, so we have the camera set up like so. And there we go. In fact, let me split this two ways. So here we're going to have from the camera's view, and there we'll see moving the camera there like so. All right, so there's one person. And here is another person. And here is another person. Okay. All right. Let me create a floor real quick. Shift A. I want a mesh plane. Let's make it a big plane. I go here. Okay. Boom. Let's get them all right on the top of the plane. Like so. Okay. There we go. All right. All right. So let's give them colors now, okay? Let's make this person blue. And let's make this person red. And let's make this person green. Whoa. Boom. This person is green. Okay. So Jack says, what up, Jack? Says, glad they're radicals and no Blender. Man, I love Blender. Blender is that program, man. I wish more and more people knew about it. I'm always trying to like introduce it so people get on it. I can't believe this thing exists the way it does. This incredible what Swiss Army knife kind of deal that this thing is. It does so much, it's insane. All right, so we're in business now, okay? What am I gonna do now? I want to tell a story now. Let's say we're looking at this. Actually, let me get this light source right here. I'm gonna make it a little bit yellow, and I'm gonna make it a brighter light source, much brighter. Okay. All right, all right. So let's say that you are the green person. Okay, you are approaching this story as the green person. Okay, and the red person is back here somewhere at first, but you're walking down the street. Do 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 do. Let's see. Let's actually pull this over so we get more of this guy, okay? And you're walking down the street and you meet this person who's blue, right? And the blue person says, "Oh, hey, I'm a human. I'm just like you. Hello, my name is, you know, Kevin, and I'm a human just like you, and I want to see my family, you know." And then the red person comes over and says, "Nope, that's not true. You know, this person is a slave. This person is my slave. Their name is Toby. I've got papers. I've got a piece of paper here that says that this is my property. This is my slave." And that's who that person is. And so if you're the green person here and you have no other information, you really, the question that I want to bring to you is, whose story do you engage with and how? When you engage with this situation, maybe you're like, "Oh shit, I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm out of here." But that's kind of wild now. You know, let's say we're stuck here. We're dealing with this thing. You have two different stories, two different interpretations of this moment. This is a real person. This is another real person. They claim to be a human who wants to see their family. This person says no, their property, and they even have some cute words on a cute piece of paper. And so if you're the green guy, you actually, this is, I think, a key element of reality on a very basic level. There are narratives and perspectives at play, and this person, let's say we do have a condition of like 17th century chattel slavery and servitude or something like that. That is the social condition and the political condition and the backwards, reality of the society. This green person, do you engage with what the blue said? Do you co-sign what blue said? He said, "Well, you do seem like a human, and if you're a human, I think it's probably fair to say you do want to see your family, and I will engage with you." What would you say your name was again? Oh, Kevin. Okay, yes, Kevin. You're a human, and I'm with that. I'm with you. Or do you check the paperwork and you contend with the claim made by this person who's clearly making an anti-human claim, and that the paper he doesn't have the paper he might present to you is meaningless against the deeper human condition. And so I think we're looking at every heinous moment in history, every structure and political system that people now, we look back and we say this was bad. You're looking at its root a group of people who supported it tacitly, who used language, who assumed the language of seemingly the powerful person, who's in this condition, the red person, the person who has the backing of some legal documents and words and has a story that at its root, that story cannot supersede the human claims, the basic human rights of the blue person. This is, to me, super key, and it speaks to like the power of our reality en masse. If there's more and more of us, each person, happens upon this little exchange and has to contend with the same question: is this person who he says he is? He identifies himself as a human, as Kevin, or do we validate the language and the assumptions and the definitions presented by the other person? And to me, the answer is really clear. I think most people, when you sit and you think about it, the answer is obvious. We always seem to get it right years later. Understand the human, like the need to support human struggles globally. But we end up in these moments where people struggle to find their voice. And that's intentional, obviously, because there's so much like effort to make people feel hopeless and voiceless and fearful. Um, but again, like I said yesterday, I don't think we have anything to fear. I don't think we have anything to fear when we are speaking in truth. And what I'm highlighting, what I highlighted last time, and I'm kind of double highlighting right now, is that power is to, I'm trying to have us negotiate with the actual truth of our power, to not like assume that so many things are outside of the realm of control, where we try to block things out and feel that we feel discouraged, feel that we can't engage with stuff because we can't fix it, we can't end it, we can't change US policy, we can't end a genocide, we can't. You can call things what they are. You can, you know, use appropriate and accurate language that represents the human spirit, given to us by the victims of X. So yeah, applause for that. That's well, that kind of worked out in my mind. I thought that the Blender thing, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work out, but I like that. I'm gonna try to use Blender a bit more. Yeah, Jack says exactly. I would go with the Rousseau response, which is there is no right to slavery. There is no right to slavery. You can't look at the two things and try to hash them out as if they were equal, claims, as if the blue person and the red person are making equal claims. And then you go, oh, and the red guy's he's got some legal document as well. So that's no. And Jack, I don't know if you were there yesterday, but I'm really referring to the hesitation that some people have to use the word genocide to describe this moment in Israel, and I because of these like intentional political fear mongering and things like this. And sometimes when I have the conversation with people, encouraging people to speak openly and freely, the response is something like a kind of a thrown up hands, like there's nothing you can do. It's not meaningful. It doesn't matter if I call it that, and I'm trying to challenge that. I'm actively saying it does matter. It does matter. Each and every one of us has to hold in our hearts and in our minds, and when we write and when we speak and when we communicate, when we interact with people, we have to hold in our sense of reality, like what is. So it was the right of conquest, which was like either die or be a slave, but might doesn't make right. I'm not sure what words would matter if the student protest didn't change the language in an election year. Exactly. Well, you say like the student protest didn't change the language on the national like media level, but I think it did. I think it did change the language. I think it made everybody pay attention. I think it showed also the absurdity of calling the cops in certain instances, like really aggressively calling the cops. It showed the absurdity of sometimes pro-Zionist students actually being the aggressors, and the cops also, the Zionist students would be the aggressors, and the cops would be called on the Palestinian students to support the Zionist students. We've allowed an entire fracturing, a splitting of reality to happen, and yeah, the top, cable news media brass hasn't changed their language on it because they're in an economy and a business, and they've had their business calculations and partnerships, and that's what it is, But I think the general sense at this moment, globally, for sure, and even in the United States, I think Israel's failed miserably in the PR stuff. I think Israel, with all the money they've spent and all the bots and all the, cable news control, like I said, and all the censorship and the fear mongering, the sense of what Israel's doing is really, really bad. And it has to do with not mincing words. It has to do with normalizing the ability to call things what it is. This is what I'm pointing to. I think you actually change reality. You actually affect and influence reality by normalizing a set of beliefs and a language and a way of talking about things. Bill Maher would have us talk about this moment and Israel's things as entirely reasonable and smart and clever and unavoidable. And if those are the words, if those are the key words that we remember about everything that's happened in 2024, then that would be horrendous. But I don't think that those are the words. I think people are horrified by this, and the right kind of connections are being made. Like this is a modern Holocaust. The Israelis have done a terrible thing. They've on top of the Hasbara and the media manipulation, on top of the manipulation of the international community, the dismantling of the international organizations, the UN, UNRWA, aid workers being killed, UN workers being killed, just gross accusations and impunity. These are game-changing. I mean, this stuff is just wild, But I think I'm pointing specifically to I think liberal people who are equivocating and fearful and not sure how to broach these things. It's like there's nothing to. I'm trying to attack those uncertainties about what language to use, because again, as you saw right at the top from October 7th, it was hammered home. Do you condemn Hamas? Right. That's a framework. It's setting a framework very early on where that pulls anyone who agrees with that framework is a great deal more likely to try to go along with whatever Israel's doing. The narrative is different than it's ever been. People finally realize the colonization and capitalism afoot. Correct. I think that's true. Not sure where the buck stops. Was Netanyahu trying to make Biden look bad? I think Netanyahu does not care. I think he's a messianic and violent man, and his political base in Israel is messianic and has been waiting for an opportunity to do this. The settler movement there are really committed to any means necessary to achieve what they're achieving, and it's just insane. In my opinion, people are getting subsumed by the Dems because they are convinced Kamala will be better. And frankly, I'm not. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Exactly. There's no reason to think that Kamala would be better. She said so straight away. She said she won't be better. She's like, I won't be better, guys. Hey, FYI, look, I'm not going to be better. I'm totally here for all this shit. It's, and I think people have really just bought into the fear thing. It's just a powerful thing to do this. A lesser evil concept, fear mongering. Both sides do this thing. And, just constraining the debate. Again, when I talk about the normalization of language, I mean, when I say normalization, I mean literally for people to internalize what actually is. It is like, rather than to internalize a milquetoast and kind of careful thing that doesn't appropriately place Israel as what it is, as a terrorist state, something that wants to salvage all of these things and look around things and give allowances, even down to the notion of chosen people kind of thing, that all of these things we have to consider, and it's really, these are beliefs. These are just root beliefs that that cause people to struggle to look and see what is. Um, Everything from, before October 7th, and the nature of the apartheid, the nature of the occupation, the nature of the growing settler movement in the West Bank, to all of this since. People just are committed to their fears and their anxieties and their commitments to, like, either you have to vote between left or I'm sorry, vote for Democrat and Republican. These frameworks and the notion of swing voters, all these like words that reinforce like how vital these systems are. And it's just a nutty thing, man. Let's see here. Sheba says black women can do anything a white man can, only better. So she's gonna be more lethal. Oh yeah. But where is the lever of power that people can pull? I'm telling you, man, I think that the lever of power that people can pull will not be a lever of the kind of like a button, a nuclear button or something like this. I'm saying that the lever of power is in the language that we use. Now, Jack, I think you probably use the word genocide when you speak about this thing, about what's happening. I'm telling you that I know far too many people who, first off, they won't talk about the subject altogether because they've been very fearful. They don't want to engage. They've been told that there is a wrong way to talk about this and leave it to the experts. They've been, fearful of losing their jobs and being canceled. But even the people who have the courage to speak about this, particularly those who identify more as liberals, they do so in a half-hearted way with like milk toast, you know, they're barely willing to use like ethnic cleansing, all of these words that would condemn actions. They're instead talking about it as a war. It is a massive and important and meaningful difference to have normalized the notion of a war in Gaza versus the notion of a genocide. Everything from the legal requirements of each of the countries all over the world, and the UN charter requirements for genocide is very different from a war. And obviously also just in a war, these two sides have comparable military capabilities and things like this. Then that's not the case either, right? So that's what I'm telling you. Like, our power is in the confidence to name things as they are and to adopt the language of the perspective of the oppressed without fear and with the confidence and because it's the truth, and owning it. And it may not stop the war in the moment, but it properly frames it. They don't want that framing to last in history. They'll do everything they can, including avoiding meaningful and accurate like news headlines. They'll do everything they can for children in a generation from now to have no clue and to be talking about this as just a war and something that Hamas started, and it was just a war, and yeah, they killed a bunch of people, but because it was just a war, and they're surrounded by people who hate them, and you see what I'm saying? So genocide, the word genocide won't allow that. Genocide speaks to a perpetrator and a victim. It speaks to the worst thing that humans can do to other humans on scale. The worst it's a verb, the worst process of crimes that people can do to each other. And so it would change the nature of the historical record to ensure that genocide is made clear. They will always fight against that because it, so that's just that. To me, that's one of our biggest powers that people, I don't think we've all fully engaged in and sort of leaned into. You know what I mean? Thank you, bro. Yo, Jack, we've done it, man. 30 minutes on here. This is the 30 for 30, by the way. It's a sub series that I've been doing where every day for 30 days I'm on, and this is day 15. Sheba, thanks for being on as always. I love you. Jack, thanks for your comments, man. I really appreciate it. I'll be on again tomorrow. And remember, man, you see what you're looking for, yo. That's a crazy thing. That's a crazy thing about this experience. You really do. Let me cue up my music real quick while I while I say my parting words to you. You see what you're looking for, and it's all one thing, yo. You feel me? It's all one thing. Here's the music. Alright, peace, y'all. Take it easy. Love. Thanks again,
Yeah, it all
everybody.
feels different now. World shifted. Fortunes done flipped around. Limited thoughts on pause, I switch them out. Love what I'm dishing out. Way further along in my vision now. I took a different route, right back up when I tripped and fell. Couple of haters, yeah, I wish them well. Listen, I love myself, healed, them weapons fail. The verse got more depth than a picture tells. Play it back twice, feel the message like it's in braille. I slap a clown and give him hell. Bet against me, mission fell. I let my nuts hang, Chippendale. And where we at, I'm rich, spiritual, fat. I'm set on heavy max, loaded every stat. Dude special, a matter of fact. Quite epic in battle and raps. It's no question ahead of the pack. Yeah, fly way over the draft, no salary cap. Call me the ghost, New York street side of the trap. Now seeing me everywhere like I'm cornered the map. Just mind the gap, Now who that? Living with the love and the loot at. The process smooth, relaxed, this how we do that. And when shit feels tight like it's a wrap, listen, you just gotta remember that you were the right one, this is the right time, we in the right place, you ain't no lightweight, living our best life, call me obsessed, fine, speak from the chest, I'm winning, you guessed right, and we shall, right one, this is the right time, we in the right place, you ain't no lightweight, living our best life, call me obsessed, fine, speak from the chest, I'm winning, you guessed right, and we shall